How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now we're very lucky because this weekend it is Derby Day in the English Premier League as Manchester City host Manchester United at the Etihad Stadium on the 3rd of March, that is the Sunday. Before we go any further, guys, please, if you do enjoy the video, consider liking it, maybe subscribe to the channel, or even share it with people who you think might be interested in it. But without any further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, the last time we were treated to a Manchester derby was at Old Trafford on the 29th of October. United had a bit of work to do, they weren't doing too well in the Champions League, while City were trying to keep the pressure up on Arsenal in the Premier League. At that point it was just a two-horse race, but now it seems Liverpool's involved in the race as well. Nevertheless, it was the away side in Manchester City that took the lead in the 26th minute when Erling Haaland converted from the penalty spot. United did try to fight back, but somehow in the 49th minute they left Erling Haaland completely open in the box, and a cross is played in from the left wing, and Haaland is just completely open for a free header into the back of the net. United continued to try, but in the 80th minute Phil Foden made it safe for the Citizens when he just managed to poke the ball past the keeper. For Manchester United, this was a very disappointing result. They still obviously had a lot of work to do. The strikers were not firing, there was no team chemistry at all. But for City, it was very promising, and it was a match that sent a statement to their other Premier League rivals. We start off our team analysis with the home side in this one being the Citizens. Now, the last 5 matches for Manchester City have ended in 4 wins and a single draw, meaning they come into this one undefeated in their last 5. Their last match was a 6-2 win away at Luton in the FA Cup. Right now, Erling Haaland is firing on all cylinders for Manchester City. With 27 goals and 6 assists, Haaland is getting goals galore. He does get criticized every now and again for not scoring in the big games, but I mean, he got a brace in the reverse fixture year, and I don't think anybody can actually go out and say that Manchester United are not still a big team. Next up, I want to talk Kevin De Bruyne with 2 goals and 12 assists. I think Kevin De Bruyne is a big part of why Erling Haaland is back to his best. De Bruyne is also back from injury, and you can see City are playing that fluid possession passing style that they just were so dominant with last season. De Bruyne is obviously the focal point of that, but we also have to remember that if De Bruyne is not knitting things together for them in midfield, he can also score goals, very important goals. And finally, I want to talk Rodri with 7 goals and 7 assists. I would honestly say that Rodri is the best holding midfielder in the world right now. He plays a more defensive game, but with those assists and those goals, we can actually see that Rodri comes to the party when the rest of Manchester City just can't unlock a defense. We have to remember as well, it was Rodri that scored the Champions League winning goal for Manchester City against Inter Milan last season. So Rodri has a lot to offer in many departments. Control, directness, offensive ability, defensive ability, and just overall stability in Manchester City's midfield. Next up, we move on to the Red Devils. The last 5 for Manchester United have ended in 4 wins and 1 loss. Their last match was a 1-0 win at Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup. For Manchester United, it's been a stop-and-go kind of season. A lot of players have been off form, and other players, surprisingly, have been on fantastic form. One of those players is Scott McTominay, with 8 goals and 2 assists. Somehow McTominay is one of Manchester United's top goal scorers, and it's weird because he plays in central midfield. So I can't even say that McTominay is just going to keep the midfield solid, because while he does do that, he also gives them so much of attacking threat up front. He can score a variety of goals, and he seems to be kind of the Swiss Army knife in Erik ten Hag's side, able to just perform so many duties so well. Next up, I want to talk Bruno Fernandes with 7 goals and 8 assists. Bruno Fernandes is still the focal point for Manchester United's attacks. He's the player transitioning them from defense to attack through their midfield. He's usually playing that number 10 role, but I think Bruno Fernandes needs to be doing a little bit more. I think he doesn't roam up and down the pitch or from left to right as much as I think he should be doing, but he does give them a lot going forward. Next up, I want to talk Casemiro with 5 goals and 2 assists. It was Casemiro who got that winning goal for Manchester United against Nottingham Forest in the week. I think Casemiro brings so much to United. He is exactly the player they've needed, to the point where when Casemiro doesn't play, Manchester United look like such a bad team. While he was brought in as a holding midfielder to bring some experience and stability to Manchester United's defense, he's also brought grit and determination, which is something they've been sorely lacking. Manchester United in recent weeks have been the kind of team that drops their heads when they go down. But Casemiro is the kind of player who leads the comeback. He just has that fighting spirit in him that Manchester United really, really need right now. Okay, now on to the meat and potatoes of the video, the head-to-head and the S3M2 verdict. The last 5 matches between these two sides have gone largely Manchester City's way, with 4 wins for the Citizens and just a single win for the Red Devils. Right now, I think the most jarring statistic here is the fact that Manchester United do not keep clean sheets in this fixture. They're always conceding. Also, they have not won at the Etihad in those last 5 matches, so it's been a very difficult ground for Manchester United to go to and get results. When we look at the Premier League table right now, Manchester City find themselves second on 59 points, so they want to keep the pressure up on Liverpool, who are leading the race right now with 60 points, but also try to create a bit of distance between them and third placed Arsenal, who are on 58 points, so just basically 2 points separating the top 3 teams. When you look at Manchester United, however, they find themselves languishing in 6th spot on 44 points, so they're effectively out of the title race right now. But I think they can still realistically compete for the top 4 spot. They're just 8 points away from Aston Villa, who currently occupy 4th spot, so it is something that they can realistically aspire to achieve. I think Manchester United right now have been hit very, very unfairly with the injury to Rasmus Hojlund. There was so much of expectation that was placed on Rasmus Hojlund when he joined Manchester United, and he finally hit form. He was scoring in back-to-back games, finally coming to the party, and now he's injured, and it would not surprise me if it takes him about a week or 2 to get back to some good goal-scoring form when he does return. I think it's very optimistic for anybody to say that Manchester United can win this one. So I think the odds are stacked heavily, heavily against him. I do think Manchester City come into this one as massive favourites. I think when you look at the form that City are also enjoying right now, having knocked 6 goals past Luton, so in terms of goal scoring, they're very, very good right now. I don't think Pep Guardiola is too concerned about his team conceding goals because they just seem to be able to outscore teams. But there have been some surprise results involving the Citizens. The first one that comes to mind is that draw against Chelsea. That one should not have happened. Manchester City should have been able to steamroll Chelsea, but Chelsea were able to fight back. They were able to shut Manchester City out. But I think in this one, I don't think United can do that. I think Casemiro is going to play a very, very important role in this one, trying to shut Manchester City out in midfield. But I think a player like Sofyan Amrabat, for example, is going to be more of a liability to Manchester United here. I think Amrabat often gives the ball away too often in midfield, and I think Manchester City will be looking for those loose balls, picking them up, attacking on the counter, or just trying to keep hold of the ball and frustrate Manchester United. I think Manchester City do win this one, I think by a goal or 2. But I don't think Manchester United have much chance here. I think United need to aspire to finishing in those top 4 spots just to qualify for the Champions League again, but it's looking less and less likely when you look at these performances. I mean, this FA Cup tie against Nottingham Forest as well. It should have been the kind of match that Manchester United should have won, I wouldn't say quite easily, but with not much difficulty. But when you look at Manchester United's front line, a player like Anthony has just been so terrible for them. Marcus Rashford has been off form. Alejandro Garnacho, I think everybody's still singing praises over that bicycle kick. It's over and done with. Get over it, guys. Manchester United need to be getting results. They can't be harping on about one fantastic goal for the entire season because, newsflash, you don't win a trophy for a great goal. You win a trophy for great performances throughout the season. And Manchester United need to really, really start churning out great performances. It's crunch time now at the end of the season. City will be looking to continue their winning streaks, and Manchester United need to be turning some results that perhaps could be, instead of draws and losses, could be instead of losses draws, and instead of draws wins. They need to be getting those positive results now. As Ten Hag said, every match is a final, and I think this is a final that Manchester United are not going to come out on top in. Hi, thank you for making it to the end of this video. We really appreciate the watch time, and the fact that you took some time out of your day to spend it with us talking about the sport that we all love. If you enjoyed the content, why not, drop a like down below or comment in the comment section. Maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. And I mean, while you are here right now, have a look at some of our old videos too. They should be appearing on the screen right now, along with that subscribe button. So you know exactly what to do. Thank you so much. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And have a great day out there. And we hope to see you again very, very soon. Thanks. Stay safe.